Hello, everyone. It's 3 o'clock Eastern, noon Pacific, and we're back with another great webinar today, specifically about marketing and how to dominate your local market for garage door companies. But I mean, the lessons here can probably be applied to other verticals as well. So I want to make sure you guys can hear me, and if you guys can say something in the chat, like just tell us where you're from, location, company, etc. That would be great, so I know that you guys can hear me. And we'll give it another 30 seconds or so before we begin. Well, I see some people are typing, so that must be a good thing. Awesome. Okay, we got some people from California, or is that Canada? Toronto. Very cool. Indiana, Chicago. Oh, we got another Barry. Louisville. Okay, so that's good. You guys can hear us and see us. So let's just get into it then. So today's topic, again, it's about dominating your local market and the success playbook for garage door companies. So little overview of the agenda. We're going to get into some introductions. We have a great guest that I'll introduce in 1 second. We're going to talk a little bit about just the overall market and how to stand out. We'll jump into Q&A, and then we'll finish it off. So typically these are about 40 to 45 minutes, may go a little bit shorter, may go a little bit longer, but we try to keep it on target. So quick introduction to myself. I'm Wes. I'm partnerships over here at Workies, and we have Barry and from Door Domination. I'll let him introduce himself in a second and tell his story, but you've probably seen me before on other webinars, and my role here is moderating. So if you guys have questions in the chat or comments, I will be watching the chat and interacting there. And Barry is going to be why everyone kind of attended today. So I'll pass it off to Barry to introduce himself. We've been partnering together for a little bit, but Barry, why don't you kind of talk about your story and how you ended up in the door space?
Yeah, sure. I'm so happy to be here and excited about our partnership. Our two services really synchronize very well. I've been in the digital space for quite a long time, marketing for 25 years. When I first started out with digital marketing, it was like, normal, the way agencies start, building websites, generating leads online. Back in the day, it was, totally different, obviously, than it is today. And it's goes so fast, and as things change, you have to adapt. But I narrowed it down to the garage door space because honestly, we got garage door and gate access control contractors the best results with the strategies that we employ and we use in our SOPs. So when I first started out, it was we would service kind of anybody in the home services. Like we had some medical and lawyers and stuff like that that's not home improvement and home service companies. And I quickly found out I have no interest in dealing with attorneys or doctors in regards to building their websites and running their ads on Google and Facebook and et cetera, et cetera. And so, I just felt at home and most comfortable with home improvement. I used to own a home improvement business. And so it's just sort of natural for me, but that's still a large umbrella, right? You got their normal stuff like plumbing and HVAC contractors, electricians, roofers. There are definitely niches that are, much larger niches, but we did have a wide variety of all of those kinds of businesses. But our strategies, we just got the best results for garage door contractors. And so we just sort of took off. We joined the IDA. The garage door world, even though there's lots of companies and contractors across the United States, it's still a small industry. And a lot of the people within the industry know one another. So word of mouth certainly helped. And we just kept growing. And I'm actually a member of a coaching agency based in South Florida that coaches digital marketing agencies how to scale a company of our kind. And the first sort of policy is niche down and become an absolute expert in one niche. Be very good at one. Don't try to be able to do SEO and lead generation through AdWords and everything else for all of these different types of businesses, because you can't really know the lingo and what moves the needle in the right keywords. In ad campaigns, the content writers need to be really trained in the niche, so that as they're writing the content, which is a lot of what digital marketing is, it's content creation, they can absolutely know what they're talking about, instead of asking our customer, hey, well, what consists of a broken spring replacement, or, weather stripping or keypads? You don't have to ask them that if your content team knows it. So we knew we had to niche down. And of all of the categories, garage door was my favorite, even though they're probably the most challenging in North America, for sure, United States, with, Google. Most challenging and most difficult is locksmith and garage door. But it's a lot of fun. And that's why we hammered down on garage door and let most all of our other clients go and just focus strictly on door and gate contractors.
Awesome. Great introduction. And again, we're really, really thrilled to have you on this webinar. And so for those of you that have not been on one of the Workies webinars before, this is all recorded and it will be posted to our website if you want to watch the recording. We'll get into today's topic, which is just how to scale and how to dominate your local market. So if we can talk a little bit, Barry, on why the garage door market is competitive, and kind of give a sneak peek into kind of the topics that we're going to go into, that'd be great from you.
Yeah, I mean, why it's such a competitive niche in Google? Is that your question? Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's some fundamental reasons, like garage door contractors have access to the person's home, right? And so do locksmiths. So there's a higher level of security that Google needs to be conscious about. Like, who are they giving an advanced verified ads account or a verified Google business profile to? They need to make sure that they're legitimate contractors. There has been a rash of fake Google accounts swarm into this nation from other parts of the world and from within. And it's sort of become a big problem. If you're a legitimate contractor, you don't want fake shell companies eating up the organic and paid traffic leads right in the Google Maps, Google Places, or local service ads, or Google AdWords. So because two reasons there. One, because garage door contractors have access to the home. There's a higher level of scrutinization, I think, or higher level of verification that garage door contractors have to go through in order to get their ads account or GBP verified, the Google business profile. It's a pain. It's not easy. I'm on the phone with garage door people all the time, and a lot of our calls come from people who are struggling with getting one or both of those verified or approved if they've been suspended or banned accounts, those types of scenarios. The second reason is because of all the fake spam accounts. So those are the two main reasons why. But, it's kind of like, postage never goes down. It always goes up when it makes a change. Google never makes it easier for a garage door contractor or a locksmith contractor to get their accounts verified. It becomes harder and harder, not like, this year's harder than last year. It's like down to month by month or week by week. It is incrementally, it becomes more and more stringent each time. You can do it, and definitely we see them get approved most of the time, but it's to eliminate and make it harder for the spam accounts to have, you know, Google business profiles or ads accounts.
Is there, I mean, for companies that are struggling to get verified, traditionally, is there a way that they can speed that process up?
Not necessarily speed it up, but you can avoid making it a longer process. But there is no really speeding. Google goes on their own pace. So to make it as efficient and smooth as it possibly can be, before you apply, have all your ducks in a row. Keep all of the documents and proof together so that when you apply, you have everything, and you give them no reason to come back to you and say, well, we don't have this, and we don't have this, and we don't have this. And there's a checklist. We keep it in a Google sheet. So when we're working with a client, and either they're getting their first Google business profile verified, or their second or third or multiple location. We have clients with a lot of locations in some cases. It's not as common as just one or two Google business profiles. But in that scenario, before you apply, have all your ducks in a row. So we've got a Google sheet with everything that is needed. So and to get your ads account verified with advanced verification, it's similar to the same requirements as a Google business profile. I mean, if you've got all of that, you can use it for both, but they are completely separate applications. So you can't speed it up, but you can make it go, you can make it more efficient, and you can get through it as quick as possible. There's no fast track.
And is there a right time or wrong time? Like, when is the ideal time in a business's life to go through these processes?
For me, if I own a garage door company, I don't. I live in Dallas, the Dallas-Fort Worth area. There's lots of garage door contractors here, as well as all the other major metro markets in the country. And if I was to go down to the courthouse and get a DBA and think to myself, when should I start this? It'd be day one. I mean, as soon as your website is live, there's no reason not to apply. One of the ranking factors people don't think about is age. It's all trust, right? Google rewards any business based on how much they trust you compared to your competitor. So age is part of that. Like, how old is the domain name? When was the Gmail created? How long ago? Is it a brand new Gmail ID that's applying for the GBP or the ads account? Or is that a trusted older Google business profile? Is it a domain-based email ID? Is it a Google Workspace paid email ID? Or is it a free Gmail that opened up a week ago that was created out of the United States and has, already some fake reviews that it's posted? Like, if it's a fake email ID who's left a 5-star review on 4 garage door GBPs in the last week, that Google's like, no, not going to happen. So, I wouldn't wait. I would open it up from the get-go. I would just do it properly and check off, dot every I and cross every T to make sure that you don't give them a reason not to trust you.
So what I'm hearing is Google is king of the garage door world.
It changes. They're still king by far. But with AI and with all these other search options and ways to get leads, I mean, I had a meeting with a guy from California who's pretty popular in the garage door world. I would call him an influencer. In fact, you guys work with him. SOS out of Orange County. He's a friend. He
Hmm.
doesn't have a Google business profile. Doesn't have one. But he gets leads organically all the time. But he is constantly posting on YouTube. So there's more than one ways to skin a cat. It's not like Google's the end all be all,
Hmm.
but they are still the king for sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well let's dive a little bit more into Google side of stuff, and well, as you can see, the three topics that we're gonna spend some time going through are Google Maps, your website, and local services ads. So
Mhm.
I'm gonna introduce our first topic, and then I have a poll question I'm gonna post. I don't know if it's gonna pop up on your guys' screen or go towards the poll section. So please take a look at that when you get a chance. But number one is going to be optimizing the Google My Business / Maps listing. Barry, can you talk a little bit about how people can do this and then why it's important?
Yeah, sure. It is important. Um, it drives. We find that a Google business profile that's optimized properly and shows activities. It sends legitimate signals to Google regularly. It doesn't have to be extremely hyperactive, but it does need to show activity and it's set up correctly. Get about 40 to 45% of the lead flow for our clients. Now that's killer. Why? Uh, Leads from Google Maps or Google Places are free to the contractor or to anybody, right, who's getting a lead. Um, and they're the most trusted. More importantly, they're highly trusted because to the shopper or the person searching on Google, to them, the Google Maps is like, who's in my backyard? Who's in my community? Who's local to me? So there's an initial huge amount of trust there. So if it's top three in the Google Maps or Google Places, and it doesn't say that little word ad or sponsor next to it, like there's one sometimes one sponsored ad inside the Google Maps. I'm not talking about that. The organic leads, the organic listings, that's where the highest percentage of the lead flow should be coming from. In a perfect world, if you're doing AdWords and you're relying heavily on that, it's very expensive, but it's far more scalable and can happen a lot faster than organic. So setting it up right is crucial. Primary and secondary category. Primary category is a garage door supplier. We've got clients that could not get it approved as a garage door supplier because before they started working with us, they had struggles with it, gave up, changed it to door supplier, and bam, got it verified. Problem with that is it doesn't show up as well in searches. So best case scenario, your primary category is a garage door supplier. You should also have secondary categories set in the profile as well, like a door supplier would be your second one, or a newer category would be a spring supplier. That's newer. That I think within the last year, that's been a category that became what Google allowed that to become a category within the last year or so. Another one is a repair contractor, a repair service. Some people have metalworks. Some people, if you're a gate contractor as well, have a fence contractor. Gate is not a category for Google. So having your primary category, if you don't have anything else but just that one, make sure it's set correctly as a garage door supplier. Then you can add the other ones. If it was me, I would have 4 in there. And it would be if you do gates, put fence supplier. If not, choose from the other ones. Spring supplier for sure, repair service, door supplier, primary category, garage door supplier. Reviews are obviously huge. It's the biggest part of the algorithm that moves the needle. 5-star reviews are great. If somebody just leaves you a 5-star review and they don't have any comments or text or, comments in that, it's great. It's still a 5-star review. It's still a vote for you to Google. But if it says like the name of the technician, if it says what actually happened, what what you did, repaired the spring, um, swapped out the rollers, whatever you did, replaced the opener. That's better. If it has pictures in it, it's even better. So if you have a review that with comments, that's great. If it has the name of the city where the repair job or installation was done, that's great. And so you want to train your customers to talk about what happened, what city they're in, what they replaced or repaired, and who the technician was. Then if they add pictures, 5 pictures is better than 1. The limit is 50. So you could have a customer that leave you 50 pictures. What's even better than that is that they have videos. Put a 10-second video of what was done. That screams legitimacy and trust to Google on your behalf. So we've got one client, every Google review they get, magically they get it with 4 pictures. I think they give them, incentive to do that. But so adding pictures to the profile is also important. Pictures that come from your customers, way heavier than pictures you upload, or that your agency, like we upload our pictures for our clients in some cases because they don't want to do it. They put them into Google Drive, pull them out of their CRM, Workies, and we'll put them into their GBP form and also into the LSA because pictures for LSA matter as well. So if you want to add services and products, you can add up to 20 products in your GBP. And when you do, you can link that to that page, the relative page, hyperlink it to the page on your website. When you do that, your knowledge graph, the Google knowledge graph, the actual Google business profile itself gets expanded by about 15%, 10 to 15% bigger. And it lists out those products on your GBP. So setting it up correctly, there's more to it than this, obviously, but those are probably simple things like make sure the phone number's right. Make sure that Google didn't mysteriously somehow swap out your phone number. It's happened before. It's happened. It doesn't. It happens consistently enough where I would say, check your phone number. I got a call yesterday from a client. Said, hey, our phone number's wrong on the GBP. Well, how in the world did that happen? I don't know, but we have to fix it. So I would check that. Your category is obviously important. Are you a visible address or a service area business? If you are a service area business, make sure that your zip codes, cities, counties, independent school districts, all of those things are set into the GBP as your service area. If you're a visible address, make sure it's correct. So setting those top 5 main things of a GBP are pretty crucial, and checking on it every so often.
Awesome. We have a few questions that came in.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and ask them. The first one is from Douglas. If you update your Google My Business /Maps listing with an additional secondary category, will you have to go through the verification process again?
Great question. It depends on if you're already a garage door supplier. If you're anything else other than a garage door supplier and then you add garage door supplier, it's going to most likely get suspended. Then you'd have to go through the verification process. Understand with that, if you're already, assuming you're already a garage door supplier and you're adding a secondary category that is one of those that I previously mentioned, no, you do not have to go through the verification process again. But what I would recommend with all that we've said so far is that you don't make more than one change to your GBP at a time. That means don't go in, log in today, and start changing 2 or 3 things or adding a whole bunch all at one time. It will trigger, most likely will trigger a suspension. We just had that happen with a client in Florida. Her GMB went down. She calls her account manager here. Hey, our listing is suspended. I need to talk to Barry. So I, of course, called her up and I'm like, what's going on and what happened? How did you change something? And she goes, yeah, I changed this. She gave me 3 things and kept talking. I'm like, whoa. Can't do that. You can change one thing click the submit button or the save button. You let it sit, let it ferment, let Google make their decision if they're going to allow it to update on the knowledge graph. If they accept it, leave it alone. I wouldn't open up your GBP for 2 or 3 days. Let it just settle down. Then you can go back and make another one. So as sensitive and hypersensitive as these are as garage door supplier profiles, don't make them more than one change at a time. That's crucial.
All right. Okay. The next question came from Daniel. How important is the questions and answers section on a Google business page?
Q&As are important. It's something that you should be doing. You can go to your website and list, your top 10 questions and answers, right? You can have a page for each, or you can have one page where it's just top 10 questions and answers. You can do the same thing with a Google business profile. Google loves it because you're providing more content, to the people on the platform. So we have clients that will give us their top 10 questions, or we will provide them with common questions. They will read them and they will give us their answers. So we provide the questions, they'll give us the answers, then we add them. We don't add them more than probably 1 a month, 2 a month. We have clients who will add them themselves. And that is not against Google's guidelines, as I understand it, is for a business owner to ask its own GBP a question and then to answer it. I know plenty of people who've done that. You're just providing content. You're not manipulating the algorithm. You're being forefront with what your customers commonly ask you and what the answer is. So you're providing value to the people searching on the Google platform. So I think it's important.
So
with that, nobody really knows what weight that holds as a determining factor, but I do believe it's easier us to rank as somebody in the maps who have lots of Q&As opposed to people who don't. But it depends on your competition. If you've got 5 people within a 3-mile radius who have verified GBPs as a garage door supplier and none of them have Q&As, but you do, then you've got a leg up. The key is to beat everybody's rear end within a 5 to 7 to 10 mile radius on all of those things in the GBP. Q&As, pictures, your posts, reviews, the star rating.
Awesome. So I think this is a good time to transition to our next topic. Going from your Google listing to your website, really. And I think an interesting little tidbit I will give is Workies just actually released a new Google integration. So I don't know if any of you guys use our online booking widget, but now on the online booking widget, when you go in, you can actually, there's a reserve by Google. And so obviously we have the Google local services integration and we have had that, but now on your Google business listing, what we were just talking about, you can actually start to take jobs similar to how a restaurant can get reservations booked from theirs. And so I think I'll put the support article in the chat of how to set that up. But I thought it was a nice connection between the two. So when we're talking about optimizing your website, Barry, can you talk a little bit about how garage door companies should do that and what they should be looking for?
Yeah, for sure. When somebody lands on your website, we think about a website as like, online brochure for the company that we're representing. So when your customer lands on your website, you want to set that up or to dial it in or to optimize it so that you make it easy for them to convert from a user or a shopper or a visitor to a lead, right? To a possible customer. Have them set an appointment. So there's tips and tricks. We had an old webinar from I don't know how long ago, somewhere we talk for an hour about optimizing your website. So in 5 minutes, I would say when you land, good quality content is huge. It's super important. And on-page optimization is important. That's the schema markup and setting the alt tags and headers and all that stuff up correctly. Off-page optimization is also important. That's your backlink strategy and the links and the citations that are coming in from other websites to yours, connecting with it. That's important. But simple things like if you're sitting down in front of your computer and you're looking at your website, make it easy for your customers to reach you. So in the top part of the header, give them at least 4 or 5 ways for your customer to reach out to you. So have your clickable email ID in there, right? Click on it to where when they click on it, it just opens up the email browser and they can shoot you a quick email. For some people, they might be at work and they can't pick up the phone and talk. So you want to have things like a chat bubble or an online booking to where they can book online with you. They don't have to call you. They don't have to talk to you. That's particularly popular if it's a repeat customer because they already know who you are and trust you. They don't need to call you and sort of sniff you out. They just need to book the appointment. Say, can you be here tomorrow because my garage door is squeaking or it's broken? Can you be here this afternoon to book it at this time? So an online booking, a chat widget, an email, a click to call button, a contact form different than an online booking, like a quote form or an inquiry, like they want to send in a general inquiry with a drop down menu of like give them options of a repair, a quote on a new door, a new operator, maintenance. Is this a commercial job? Whatever the things that serve as a gates, gate fabrication, gate repair. Give them the things that you do so they can tell you why they need you. Now, if they call you, awesome. There's even plugins where it can be where they can click and text you. So the more ways you set up your website so that they can clearly understand who you are, where you're located, what services you offer, and how they can reach out to you, the better it is. Here's some facts, fun facts. About 5 to 7% is the standard typical conversion ratio of a website. So every 100 leads, if you're only getting, for every 100 leads, if you're only getting 5 to 7 that convert into potential customers, that's not all that great. What if you can trick out your website and get it to like a 20% conversion or a 25% conversion? Then every 100 leads that are coming into the website, you've tripled or quadrupled the conversion. So setting it up for conversion is important. People typically don't love the aesthetic of a lead gen style website, right? Where the contact form is front center right when you land on the page, or you land on it in a pop-up window, covers a good percentage of the page, and it says, would you like to book an appointment now? That's not as aesthetically pleasing as some of these really killer websites. We like to build websites that are going to convert better and have as good of an aesthetic as possible. And I can show you garage door website after garage door website after garage door website after garage door website of good looking sites that have high conversion percentage. And that just comes by getting our tails kicked over and over and over again and hiring better quality people and learning by making mistakes and building lots of websites. And I wouldn't say that's probably any different if there's a plumber or an HVAC guy, right? It's setting it up for success, but we just don't build sites for those kinds of contractors. So, but yeah, on-page optimization is important. Off-page is important. I would say most important is quality content. Then setting it up to where for conversion by setting those things. Another important one is an online Google, an on-page like plugin for a Google widget so they can read your Google reviews from your website. We have a floating Google widget. No matter what page you're on, it always just hovers there. It hovers on every page, bottom left corner. Same thing on mobile. It's always there. Somebody can click on it. It opens up your reviews. They can scroll through them. They can also click a button and leave you a review from that button on your website.
Yeah, that's a great comment about the scrolling of reviews. Obviously, through our automation center, you can set up reviews, but we also work with partners like Nice Job, where they can help you set up that scrolling widget where
Okay.
it will update your reviews. So if you guys want to take your reviews to the next level and integrate your workies with the next level of getting reviews, I would say I can throw a link in the chat for that, but I need to find the link. But highly recommend checking them out.
Well, that and the online booking button from the website goes to the same place that from the GBP. Just make it easy for those customers to book an appointment. I've even got some clients that offer like a 10% off discount for their customers that book online. Use that button. I'm not saying I would do that. I don't, depends on how bad you want the business, I guess, or whatever. That's a personal decision on the contractor's side of it, but it does work.
Great. So let's go into our last topic, and I'm going to put another poll out, which is local services ads. We have about 8 minutes left. I'll try to leave a few minutes at the end for questions. Barry, can you talk a little bit about how to optimize your local services ads and pros and cons?
Yeah, I mean, setting it up correctly from the get-go is important, right? So not feedback forms, once it's verified and it goes live, there are things that you aren't supposed to do. There are things that you are supposed to do. So you don't want to do the things that you're not supposed to do, but definitely make sure you do the things that you're supposed to do regularly. What are those things that you should do regularly? Adding pictures, always sending in the feedback forms daily. So, and when the lead comes in, you fill out the form, send it right back to Google. They can fire off the review, and you told them what they wanted to know. When you set it up and it goes live, make sure that the geography is correct, like all the zip codes. Like when we do it by county and by city and by zip code so that we capture it every which way. Make sure that it's not some crazy outlandish amount of money that you put in as your weekly budget. I was on a call with our PPC team this morning and one of our clients looking at his LSA dashboard. The guy had the weekly budget is $200,000. Like they're not going to buy that. It has to be like, let's get real here. I was on the phone with another client about LSA yesterday, and their budget had been real high. They moved it down to $1,500 a week, and their leads, they were getting like 2 to 3 leads a week. They've already gotten 10 this week by adjusting the budget and making it real. So that's we could do a webinar just on local service ads, but at the end of it, I'll wrap it up by this so we can have a couple minutes left if needed. Be Google's best customer. You can see that on the screen. You have to train Google and teach them that you're going to be their very best customer, which means don't turn your LSA off. I had a call from a guy in Indiana, and he said, my LSA used to work and now it doesn't. Well, what did you do different? Well, we went on vacation, camping, for a week, so I paused it. Can't do that. Why? Because you're telling Google, I'm not available for you to charge me for these leads. So have somebody, and I know that's a struggle for some people, and some people may not want to do that, but you have to teach Google that you're going to be their best customer. Always answer the phone. Always turn in the feedback forms fast, upload fresh pictures weekly, like pull them out of your CRM and put them right back in the LSA dashboard, and answer the phone and don't ever pause it, and be realistic with your budget. As soon as you send in the feedback form, the more reviews you're going to get in the LSA. And within set up right, and I've seen, and the more competitive the market is, the longer it takes. But I've seen people within weeks start to get some success. I'll end it with this. We have a client, Virginia. I talked about this yesterday on the podcast. When we took him over, it was our first month with him was November 2023. What year are we in? 24. It's 23.
24. Yeah.
I don't even know what the hell year we're in. And he said he had gotten 31 leads, best month ever. I think that was September or October. We started with him November 1st. I have a graph. We literally have screenshots of this and put it into a PDF file. He has gone up every month, and he got 148 in the month of July. So we went from 31 leads every month up to 148 leads. Now, Google used to maximize you with the number of leads you could get from LSA. It's not the case anymore. Average cost per lead is, 40 to 55 bucks a lead, depending on the market area and what kind of lead. But it is a slam dunk. I call it the holy grail. So if you can get your lead flow working right with LSA, it can be an absolute game changer, slam dunk gold mine. Just have to know the rules of the game and play them right. Unfortunately, there is no rule book, and those rules kind of change quite often with Google.
That's a good question I had is it better for companies to do door companies have success doing their own local service ads ever?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. If they know the rules of the game and they just play them, and they consistently grind by proving to Google that you're there and you'll take the calls and you get reviews and you send in those feedback forms. It takes months and months and months to build it up. The more competitive the market, the harder it is. Some people do it themselves, never have success with it. We start tweaking it and working with it, and it starts to work. Some people don't need us at all for LSA. So if you're in the middle of nowhere and you're in a small rural community, or you're in the county out where there's not as many big monster companies with 2,000 reviews and that kind of thing, you don't really need us for LSA.
Okay. So I think I'll turn it over to you to give some final thoughts before we jump into any questions that people still have. And after you give your final thoughts, can you tell people how they can find out more about door domination and working with you?
Yeah, I would just say I can only think about the things that I see move the needle and what our most successful clients, focus on. Having a really nice, high quality website that goes deep and wide, good quality content, talk about the doors you sell, build out your website so it's killer. Like, have the LiftMaster operators on your website so you don't have to send them to LiftMaster. Send them, if you sell Clopay, have a section of your website built out for Clopay doors so you don't have to send them to Clopay. It's all on your website. Because if they go to the manufacturer's site, they're going to put in their zip code if they're interested, and then get, a bunch of other door dealers referred to them by that manufacturer. If you can keep them on your site and have it really done well, that's a good thing. It also, I have to believe, it helps if you're going to sell your company. Better to have a nice looking, thorough website with good metrics and good rankings than not. You can probably command a higher price. Use tools to track where you're ranked. Like, we use Local Falcon. We use Bright Local as heat maps. That shows you your Google Maps rankings. Rank Tracker. There's a bunch of different rank tracker tools that'll tell you organically where you ranked in the search engine result pages or in Google Maps. You can also do the same thing with paid traffic. At the end of the day, just make sure you get reviews consistently. We should do a webinar on how to get reviews. I mean, I could talk for 3 hours on reviews, how to get them, creative, really cool ways that definitely work, but just get them and make it a priority.
Awesome. And then how do they find out about door domination and working with you, Perry?
DoorDomination.com. I mean, we're kind of, I think, on everything. If you go to the website or if you go to the Facebook page or Insta, any of that. I mean, YouTube, just Door and Gate. Our official name is Door and Gate Domination, but it's DoorDomination.com, and we kind of call ourselves Door Domination. So, yeah, the website is DoorDomination.com, but all the video content and social stuff, you can go to YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, LinkedIn.
Awesome. And Barry has an awesome checklist that he can give you for working through any marketing aspect to your business. I think we had a question come in from Daniel. So is it important to mark your leads as book in the local services ads?
Yes, it's crucial. Yeah, tell them if you disputed it. If you really disputed it, tell them the truth. Just be factual about it. If you booked it, give them the information they're asking for and send it in regularly so they see there's somebody actively patrolling that account and sending that information to Google. Yes.
Okay, another question.
Yeah. Yes, we do. We tag scam companies for our clients. We help them with that. I mean, there's so many scam companies. We can't do it. We can't do it for all of our clients all the time because there's so many. But we do have clients that send us. We do have clients that send us like a list, and they'll do the research and send it to us, and then we'll go in and report them. The best way to do that is if you go to that GBP of the scam company and you click report, to report them on their Google business profile, and just report it to Google. And I've had clients that will drive to where that scam company is saying that their location is, take a picture or multiple pictures of it, and it'll be like, a mailboxes, et cetera, or whatever those things are, like an Eagle Postal Center, or it'll be in a strip center where there is no garage door showroom, and send it to Google. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. The more it's reported, the better chance you have, and the more different email IDs that report it. For example, I was on a call today with our SEO manager and a client this morning. The client's in Florida, and we reported a fake location and sent it in. And we probably have to report it at least 20 times from 20 different email addresses, from 20 different IP addresses, different mobile devices over a period of time. So if you're just doing it on your own, one after another, but you're doing it from just one email account, it's not going to work. You've got it, and multiple people have to do it. It used to be that you could report it and they would suspend you like you're guilty before proven innocent. And in some cases that still happens, but it's rare. They really require multiple people reporting it. And so if you're having a struggle with that, that's probably why. But I wanted to show this, we do have a checklist, and I know you said we probably need to go, but we have a checklist, and I can email it to anybody who wants it. It's also on the homepage of our website. If you go to doordomination.com and just put in your email address, it'll open up a PDF file, and you can print that out or whatever you want to do with it. It's pretty, I would say it's pretty involved for a checklist. This is the next step. And this is a book that was published in March of this year. It is on Amazon. I'm not trying to use this as a way to make money. But it is a 291 page book. It's 16 chapters. It comes from case studies of doing, digital marketing for garage door contractors. And it's got a lot of good information in here. So that is another level of the check. If you just want the checklist, let me know. I can also email you an ebook of this for free. So either way, happy to help.
Awesome. Well, that's super great to hear. We're a little bit over time, so
Okay.
I can hang out in the chat if people have any other questions afterwards. But again, this recording will be live on our website. You can also use the same link that you joined to rewatch it immediately. But yeah, Barry, I really appreciate the time that you spent today and sitting here. If you do have another minute or two, there was another question, but I'll leave that up to you. But again, thank you for joining, and thank you everyone else for joining as well.
Yeah, sure. If anybody has questions, I've got up until probably another 3 minutes.
Okay. All right. Quickly then, Ellie asked, if we add maximum budget for PPC, will it work?
If you add maximum budget, well, it can. I would make sure that the campaign is pretty well optimized before I went and did that. So look at your negative keywords. If you want like us to take a look at it, we don't charge for that. Just send in a request with, you'll need to add our email ID to the LSA and your ads account as a read-only access. That means we don't have the ability to click and make changes, just to read only. And we can give you like an audit of the campaign and let you know kind of where we think you're at with it. Happy to do that for anybody that wants our opinion.
Cool. It looks like people are asking also for
The name of the book.
If you want, I can afterwards share, Daniel, I can share your email with Barry here if that works. And Barry, if you want to email him.
The email for the ads account?
For the book.
The
checklist. Sorry, the checklist.
Oh, just for the checklist, just go into the website and you can download it from the website. It's on the homepage,
Okay.
almost all the way down at the bottom of the screen. Somebody asked the name of the book, I think, and it's Garage Door Marketing Machine. And if you want,
And Zach is, go ahead.
If you want a copy of the like an ebook, just send me. You could send me an email, and I'll get the ebook emailed to you. If you want a hard copy, it's on Amazon. You just have to order it on Amazon. But my email,
Zach is out.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. I can put your email in the chat if you want.
Okay, yeah, just do that. Barry@doordomination.com or support. Other people will get that and they can get it done too.
Okay, and then Zach was also asking about Google being a Google partner.
We're applying for that right now. I can't wait for that to go through. So that's exciting. We're not as of right now.
All right. Great. I think those were all the questions that came through. I'll put my email also in the chat if you guys want to reach out to me afterwards if you have any other questions for Barry. And I know he shared his email there, but again, thank you, Barry, for your time, and thanks for staying a bit over to answer everyone's questions. And it's great having you here.
Yeah, I appreciate the time. It's awesome to be y'all's partner. It's really exciting. So can't wait to see you at the WASA event in Temecula in October.
Yeah, we will be there. Awesome. Well, again, I thanks everyone for joining. I'm going to go ahead and end the recording of the event, and again, this will be available on our website probably tomorrow or the next day. But appreciate everyone's time, and have a great rest of the week and rest of the day.